When I first started training for a marathon, I had no idea about what shoes to buy. Now, 4 marathons and over 4,500 kilometers later, know exactly which ones I'd go back to. Hey, I'm Jack, a beginner runner now turned 4-time marathoner. On this channel, I break down what's worked for me so you can train smarter, avoid mistakes, and reach your own running goals. Today, I'm going to share 5 shoes I would buy again for my training. The first shoe on the list is the Puma Magnify Nitro 2s. Now, what exactly did I use these for? Well, before training for my second marathon, I wanted a much more lighter weight max cushion shoe, so decided to give these ones a go, mainly for my easy miles during the week. So that included my everyday recovery runs during the week, as well as my long runs on the weekend. So far, the total mileage logged in these is 695 kilometers or 432 miles. So what did this shoe do well? Firstly, as a maxed cushion shoe, this was relatively lightweight in comparison to other max cushion shoes that I use. So when running, this didn't feel too bulky or too heavy, and when I wanted to, I could even pick up the pace. It allowed me to pick up the speed whenever I felt like it to, but it also wasn't too thin of a cushioning to feel like my legs were being battered during my long run. I felt like the plush cushioning of the heel here worked very well for me in my second marathon training. For me, the Puma Magnify Nitro 2 is also the best fitting shoe I've ever used in my running journey so far, finding it almost molded to my foot perfectly. Another thing that it did well was the price point for entry, purchasing these for 220 Australian dollars and seeing from time to time they will go on sale for $180 too, but I've never been quick enough to actually pick them up on sale. So why would I buy these again for my running shoe rotation? Personally, it's the lightweight factor to this max cushion shoe that has me wanting to buy them again. You can set them and forget them almost and add many miles into them without any worry or hassle. So now my recommendation for the ideal runner or use case, I feel like these are for a runner looking to add a more of a lightweight maxed cushion shoe to their running rotation. And if they're looking to pick up the speed on occasion, while this doesn't quite suit a full quality session shoe, if you're looking for a recovery or a long run shoe that you can just shove a ton of miles into them, I would highly recommend the Puma Magnify Nitro 2s. Video card for a full shoe review above here. The second shoe that I would purchase again are the Hoka Rocket X2s. Now, I purchased this shoe to run my second ever marathon, and this was my inaugural pair of carbon plated race day shoes. Alongside racing my second marathon in them, I also used them for a majority of my quality sessions when training for my second one. So doing a lot of mile repeats as well as 6x800 meters in them just to get a feel for the carbon. Total mileage on these so far is 317 kilometers or 196 miles. In terms of what the shoe did well, I feel like the rocker on the Hoka Rocket X2s really made the shoe a fun one to run in as well, finding it such a breeze to pick up the pace and also hold quite fast paces during my quality sessions. It was also my first time as a runner experiencing the race day PIBA like foam, finding I was able to run the entire marathon distance in my second one compared to my first where I was walking for the final 16 kilometers of it. As someone who does have wider feet, I found the Hoka Rocket X2s did fit my foot rather well compared to trying on the Nike Alpha Flies, which hugged the middle of my foot a little too tightly. The reason why I would pick up a pair of these again is the race day experience they provide. These shoes make you want to run fast and the experience is like no other. These at the moment are my favorite carbon plated races that I've ever used in my running journey. And if you're keen to hear some detailed thoughts about the Hoka Rocket X2s, I've also got a video card here above for you to watch it. So when it comes to the ideal runner or use case for the Rocket X2s, I feel like these are for a runner looking to set a new PB in the marathon distance or say the half marathon distance, but also looking to add some flair and fun into their running shoe lineup. The next shoe on the list is the Adidas Supernova Rise. Now, I use these shoes again for a lot of my easy mileage. Now, getting into training for my third marathon, did find I was blitzing through quite a few of my existing pairs of running shoes, so managed to find these on sale for 150 Australian dollars to add into the lineup. I used these for a majority of my shorter runs during the week, so between 5 kilometers and 14 kilometers, but also doubled up as an everyday workwear kind of shoe and casual shoe that I'd wear out. So far, the total mileage on these is 252 kilometers or 156 miles. In terms of what the shoe did well, I feel like this is the most comfortable running shoe I've ever used so far. It acted like a maxed cushion shoe when it's just an everyday trainer. When wearing this shoe, it also felt like a purposely easy day kind of running shoe, not suddenly wanting to pick up the pace in these to run a 5-kilometer PB. When it comes to my reasons for purchasing these again, has to be the price point with these, managing to score that deal for 150 Australian dollars with plenty of life left in this shoe to give. For the ideal runner or use case, I feel like the Adidas Supernova Risers are a perfect shoe for someone looking at just getting into running, maybe trying to tackle a few shorter distances, say up to 5Ks through to 10Ks a few times a week and wanting a shoe that they'll feel comfortable in. This is the go-to shoe. If you're keen to hear more of my thoughts, video card here above on the review. The next shoe on the list is the Asics Superblast 2s. Now, I use these shoes only for my long runs when training for my 4th marathon, where I set a PB of 3 hours, 12 minutes. Total mileage on these shoes is 320 kilometers or 198 miles. So what did this shoe do well? For me, it's the resilience when it comes to the Asics Superblast 2s. 320 kilometers and these things look brand new with plenty of life still left in them. Second is the energy return that you get in these shoes. For a non-carbon plated racer, you can really pick up the pace with these two and also have quite a fun day out with your runs. These shoes also give you that race day kind of shoe feeling as well, making any run that you do, no matter what distance or how fast you're running, super fun. The reason why I'd be buying these again is obviously the energy return, but also the fun factor when it comes to these shoes. I'm eagerly awaiting for the Superblast 3s to be announced here. When it comes to the ideal runner and use case for these shoes, I feel like it's for the runner looking to add a long run specific shoe into their rotations, and also if you're looking at tackling marathon pace efforts within your long runs. For me, this is the ideal long run shoe option. My final shoe on the list is the Asics Magic Speed 4s. So I picked up these shoes to use purely for a lot of my quality sessions as a carbon plated trainer, finding I was using these twice per week for my interval sessions, which were 4 by mile repeats or 8 by 800 meter intervals, as well as my tempo runs on the Thursdays. So far, total mileage on these is 206 kilometers or 128 miles. In terms of what this shoe did well is it managed to handle all of my quality sessions with these. Finding the carbon plate really helped me maintain a lot of my higher intensity paces when training. I also found the increased stack height really helped in terms of the comfort levels whilst training too, finding I was able to really push my paces and not feel too off balanced or feeling like my legs were just pounding the pavement all of the session. Similar to the Puma Magnify Nitro 2s, also found the Magic Speed 4s did fit my foot quite well. In terms of why I'd buy this shoe again, for me it's a combination of the race day feel you get when you run in these, but also the comfort levels with the added stack height. At the moment, this is probably up there with one of my favorite shoes that I've ever worn, and I would be disappointed if this didn't feature in my running shoe rotations again in the future. For me, I was never disappointed or dreaded when a quality session finally popped up, knowing I'd be lacing up these bad boys to run in. When it comes to the ideal runner or use case, I feel like this is for a runner looking at a shoe option to handle a lot of their quality runs during the week. So for your tempos, your intervals, your fartleks thresholds, I feel like the Magic Speed 4s are the way to go. So there we have it, friends. The list of shoes I would be buying again after running over 4,500 kilometers in the last 1 and a bit years. Let me know down in the comments below what your current list of shoes you would be buying again and again are. I'd be keen to see if there are any that I should be trying soon. If you're keen on sticking around and watching some of my content, YouTube recommends you might like this one right here. I'm Jack, and I'll see you next time. Catch up.